I never thought I'd be making this video, and I definitely never thought I'd be making it this soon, but I've had two relatively, formative conversations in the past week that kind of had me thinking, um, that it might be time to make a significant change to my business model, which sounds crazy with how small we are, right? But I've been, kind of looking at the bigger picture lately, really thinking about some stuff, heavily thinking, even though I barely have time to think. I've been putting a lot of thought with the free time that I have into what opportunity that has been ringing in my brain lately. What opportunity am I in? Is my opportunity vehicle good enough? Because dude, I have felt the pain this month, being if 2 years ago I would have picked a different business, I probably would be doing significantly. And that sounds woe is me, special snowflake, whatever. The truth is, I think I could absolutely, with the skill set I have, I could go kill it in any other business model. And maybe that's an ignorance thing. I don't know. Maybe that's shiny object syndrome thing. And obviously, I'm not thinking change my business, get rid of my business, go start something completely new. That's what I'm talking about. But it's been a little frustrating. I've been thinking, dude, I feel like my skill as an operator is not proportionate to the business vehicle that I'm in. But after these two conversations I'm going to talk about, right, have me thinking that I have, part of it right. I've got part of it right. The video thing, so for context, getting into this, I own a hockey media business, right? We're doing videography and video editing for hockey players. And recently, over this past year, we've kind of niched down, I would say. I say that in very light terms because we haven't been, exclusive or anything like that, but we've niched more towards individual players who are looking to use video to get recruited. And the more I've thought about that, these people need so much more than just video. But if video is the center, then you could almost build everything else a youth hockey player needs to get recruited around that. That is a significantly better business model, better opportunity vehicle than just, we'll film your games, and then you go to this guy for advising, you go to this guy for film review, you go to this guy for contract negotiations. What if we just did it all? What if we just did it all? And that sounds crazy, right? It's dude, what? Why don't you grow the current business you're in before making new business? I don't think this is a new business, and I think this solves the problem of the current business. Okay, so right now this month we're going to do 20K revenue this month, approximately. Probably a little bit more. And if I can get my shit, because I wanted to hit 30 this month. I was we're hitting 30 in October, 100%. It doesn't seem to be the case. We'll see. I'm gonna push these next 10 days of October, and that'll be great. But just based on the current track we're on, it's not likely. So we're probably gonna do about 20 this month. And our main constraint right now is we're not converting leads to sales quick enough, our cash conversion cycle, to get a return on aspect, because we're spending a lot on ads. And I'm not gonna just turn off the ads because the ads are they're digging the well for the future. It's a good investment. Pulling back on growth is not the way to go here. That's the main constraint. Which has been tricky because it's the profitability hasn't been, last month we lost money. I made a video about it. We literally, we were net negative last month, which is very frustrating. But I think when you think about, okay, how do you convert leads to sales faster, or even just speed up your cash conversion cycle in general? Right now we're converting 5% of leads to customers within the first 30 days of them becoming a lead. We could easily, we could get that to 10. We really could. But I've been doing all these little things where I'm starting to think it might be an offer mismatch, or it might be we're not specific enough on the avatar, because we're doing all the best practices for sales. Legitimately, I call leads within a minute of them opting in, consistently. We're making new ad creative. We're following up with the leads 7, 8 times before we stop, and then we give them a month, and then we follow up again, and they go through a nurture stage, whatever. Our funnel is pretty good, in my opinion. It should be getting more than 5% of leads to become sales. So I think there's some type of offer mismatch. So then that's got me thinking, right? All right, we're 5 minutes in, and I haven't even cut to the chase yet, okay? I kind of talked about how, we could just build everything. We could just handle everything. I had a lead that I got on a call with last week, and he is a consultant for startups. That's what he does for a living. He's worked with billion-dollar companies and small companies that have failed. And after we went through the whole sales spiel about like me and him working together, we started just chopping it up about business, right? And this guy started outlining all the different problems that he would face, even if he has the video. He's like, there's a lot more things you could be doing. And that would be the main thing that I would look at if I wanted to get your business more sticky, right? Because that's the issue, right? People will hire us for a recruiting video, and then once they send the recruiting video, they're done, and they don't need us again. And that's the case right now. But what if it's not? Okay, so that was the first formative conversation. This guy was giving me a ton of different ideas. He really dropped some sauce, so I appreciate it a ton. And it had the wheels turning initially, right? He's like talking about how we can use tech to get a little bit more leverage in some certain spots. It was a very enlightening conversation. I haven't had time to fully digest. Like, I took a ton of notes. I haven't had time to sit down and digest it. But then the other day, I was running a job ad, and I got this application. And the application, the job ad was for a videographer, right? So this application was not what I expected at all. But this guy was a film review coach at a NCAA D3 hockey school, which is pretty high level hockey. If you're not familiar with hockey, you don't know how hard it is to get to the NCAA, because there's club, like, there's not just intramural and NCAA. In hockey, there's like 18 different club hockeys. That's not the real deal. So, whatever, he was a part of this. And then I'm looking at his resume more. This guy's a coach. This guy's a ref. This guy's played NCAA D3. And now he's working at Walmart. Okay? And we're just messaging back and forth. And I didn't think anything of it at first. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, you just applied to a position that you have no skill in. Like, we're not really looking for it, but I think your skill set's interesting, so I'd love to talk. But then before I get on the call with this guy, I'm like, wait, this conversation I had with this guy last week, this guy could fit into that. This guy's skill set could fit into that in a way. And I get on the phone with this guy, and this guy's the coolest dude ever. And he's genuinely super passionate about hockey. And I could tell by the way he was explaining his role and like what he's done in the past. He knows his shit. And he's got experience. And he's working at Walmart, and he hates it. And he wants a job in the hockey industry. And I'm like, yo. So now I'm thinking, what if we just, like, we become the all-in-one spot? Okay, the first guy I was on the phone with, the lead, who's a startup consultant, he called it the digital showcase, which I'm like, yo, trademark that shit, right? Because as things are getting more digital, right, coaches and scouts, they're not going to every single game. They're not even opening every single email. But video is becoming more important in hockey recruiting than it ever has been. Like, all the different statistic sites and like hockey databases, they now have options to upload video. Obviously, social media is a huge thing. So I'm thinking of all these different things, right? And it's like, okay, what if we just like build a suite for everything? Like, we're more of a hockey media agency rather than just a hockey videography company, where the core of our business, like what we're best at, is the videos, right? But hey, you got these videos. Would you like to do weekly film review sessions with an NCAA hockey player? Probably. Would you like help with... Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention this guy who I talked on the phone with today. He's also a scout. He's got experience scouting. He's like, yo, I have the number for this NHL head coach. I have the number for this scout from this NCAA D1 school. I'm like, bro, are you a fairy that just dropped from heaven? And I'm not like big on kind of like miracles, like whatever, that's some corny shit, but these two things happening, like these conversations with these two people and the current struggles that my business have been facing, it feels like it's a sign. And maybe I'm thinking too deep in it. It's maybe like, Jack, just roll with your current business model and find a way to convert leads to sales. But based on what I was saying, where I feel like we're already, like, we're taking the right actions where it's an all for mismatch. It's like, what if we handle that all? Because these people who are coming in for video, for recruiting, they have all these other questions. They're like, okay, then what do I do with the video? Who do I reach out to? How many reach outs do I have to send? It's like all these different things that they're just clueless about, because the hockey scene is always changing. And another thing I was thinking about just on my walk just now is like talent. When you think about talent, like talent in an organization, like this guy, talking to him, I was like, yo, this guy is an A player. Okay, so what if we have 5 of those guys? What if we have 5 film review guys? And then we have videographers that are only trained on the specific thing of getting players recruited. If we narrow everything in, we can also widen the scope of what we're offering. I know I'm doing a lot with my hands right now. But it's like if we really narrow who we serve, we can do so much more for them and do it so much better. And make a lot more money. Because the business of hockey video is like, okay, I mean, sure. You can grow any business super big. I really believe that. But the business of youth sports recruiting, people are crazy. Okay, people think their kid is going to get to the next level. And that's not knocking people. I'm not knocking my customers right now. Of course, I want them to get to the next level. But not everyone's going to. And there are a hell of a lot more people who think they're going to than actually are going to. So if we can even help those people just get to the next level, it's like that's so valuable because, okay, now you're getting athletic scholarships for this team, this prep school, this college, whatever. There's just more value. There's more value in that. And if we can, there's something here. There's something here. If we find a way to tie this all together, like even just the video coach alone, even if that's just the first step, okay, we're gonna offer a free film session with your first 3 games, okay. What's the likelihood someone's gonna cancel that compared to cancel getting video in the off season, right? So there's like an off season for hockey. That's not really an off season. Kids are playing hockey all year round because there's summer tournaments, there's spring tournaments, etc. People are a lot less likely to hire a professional videographer for a spring tournament, okay? But if we have like everything in one, we're still going to be getting that recurrent revenue. Like this seems like the way to get things to stick, where we really focus on video. Like video is still the core thing. High quality hockey coverage, that's still our thing. But then we use these other things to enhance the value. Social media management. Like, holy shit. There are like all these different sub buckets of value we can provide within video. And then we take our average ticket size for like $500 to $3,000. And then these people are sticking for months and paying thousands of dollars in continuity per month. It's like the LTV of someone who comes in for video compared to someone who comes in for you to completely handle their hockey recruiting journey, that is 2 vastly different things. So it's like, is this where we're going? Is like the first step, okay, the first step is video. Then we get a social media management person. Then we get an advisor. Like, I don't know, it just feels like there's something here. And I've known that like these customers that we have that are focused on getting recruited, they need like more. Like we're already giving them a lot just with what we can do with video, but they need more. They need even more. And it's like instead of, okay, like at first my thought was like, oh, we'll just get all these affiliates. We'll just get all these affiliates, right? Why not just own it all? Why not just control everything? I don't know. Because it's like it's not a full pivot, right? But it does isolate a good amount of our customer base. It makes it more specific who we sell to. But like what are the downsides of that? And when I'm comparing the downsides to the upside, it's like cost of change wise, like how much does this really change what we do? And I don't think it does a ton. Like, sure, running a more complex business in a way, but I think complexity in a business more comes down to you're doing a bunch of different things for a bunch of different people. If we're just doing a bunch of different things all centered around the same thing with the same goal for the same person, that doesn't seem that unattainable. So, yeah, I've thought a lot about that. And within the fact that like we need to change our offer a bit, we definitely need to raise some prices in some areas and make it more the default objective to book multiple games versus just book one. Like all these little things. I mean, it's gonna come down to brand, how we brand it, how we make changes in our social media presence, how we make changes in our ad copy and our framing. But like these things all solve that problem of that leads to sales problem. It's like a better offer, a better money model, more specific advertising. It's like that all converts more leads to sales quickly. And then, honestly, dude, if we get to a point where I know our data and we're not even getting that many leads to sales, like that's still an issue. Cost to acquire our customers is still an issue. This solves the LTV problem because people are just gonna stay. People are just gonna stay. I think I know the answer. I think I just spoke the answer. So I get like, what are the next steps? I don't know. I mean, I think tonight I'm gonna sit down and kind of write this out, what this would look like. Send this video guy some ideas. And maybe like get started offering it. Intentionally change the way our social media looks online. Intentionally change the phrasing on our website, change the VSL, change everything. I don't know. I don't know if this is like my excitement getting to me, but I feel like I just spoke through this fairly logically for the past 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Like, this seems like this is it. Because the overall vision of Puck Pro Media has always been to have Puck Pro Media videographers at rinks all over the place. I want to run a global operation. Which is like, it's doable. And this change in the business model doesn't change that. It's still the vision. The mission still to make high quality hockey coverage accessible. But we're not just going to handle high quality hockey coverage anymore. We're going to give you high quality hockey coverage, and then we're going to enhance that in a ton of different ways where we solve all your problems. The only real downside I see to this is like there's more competition. That's it. We're entering a more competitive landscape, and we probably have to be a little bit more careful of how we claim things. Like, we can't tell people they're going to get recruited, right? That's a bad look. And we don't want to necessarily position ourselves as experts in recruiting. But we want everything to pretty much say that without actually saying that. So, shit, yeah, those are my thoughts. I mean, should I just fuck around and change my whole business? I don't know, it's tempting. Because I don't really think it's that big of a change. I think it's just the right step. I mean, yeah, man, like, real shit. There are so many things I've done and been able to do over these past years that have past years. It's been like a year. It's really been. This is our second real hockey season doing this. So many incremental changes that have caused like growth, like a small amount of growth. But there's never been an order of magnitude where I like triple my business. I guess this past month I technically tripled in revenue because we did 7,500 last month. So like technically, whatever. But that's not an order of magnitude difference. And I think something like this, because the offer, like, it's the offer. It's mainly the offer. That's what really makes a change. And being able to do these things and do these things, like this guy, the way, when I talk to this guy, I have full confidence in him already, and I just met him. Like, the way he communicated, it was so much about his love for hockey. And I was like, I want this guy on my team. I don't know what he's going to do, but I want him. And I think I know what to do with him. And, like, just taking that first step where, oh, we offer video review now. That's something that generates revenue on the weekdays, which is something we've never really had an opportunity to do because most youth hockey games are played on the weekends. So it's like, okay, boom, we're filming your games on the weekend, we're editing them. And then the middle of the week, we just sit around. Not anymore. And that's also an easy recurring revenue stream that then forces people to book more games too, because it's like, oh, I'm already doing a video review with these guys. The video I'm getting from them is much better than the stuff I would get from a live streaming service. If I'm going to keep doing video review because I'm getting value from it, then I'm going to keep hiring them to do video. It's just like this. It's such a clear way to increase the recurring revenue of the business. I think I just made my decision, to be honest. So it's a matter of executing on it now. And yeah, dude, if you ask me, like, I kind of knew that the business I've been in, like, I knew something would change, right? I knew it's not, like, the long term. Like, I know, in some sense, some kind of underlying assumption is going to be proven incorrect, or some new opportunity vehicle that seems shiny and seems exciting is going to come along. And I kind of think that this is the next level. Puck Pro version 2. That's how we market it. Puck Pro version 2. The digital showcase. The world's first digital showcase. Puck Pro version 2. Shit. Keep you updated.